Hello and welcome to the another tutorial of this Blockzy module. In this particular tutorial, we are going to see the remaining categories of our block programming palette. So this is the table of content, which you can see that in this particular section, we are going to see the different 7 sections. First one is operator blocks, then event blocks, control blocks, sensing blocks, variable blocks, my blocks, and some examples. So let us first see the operator blocks. So operator blocks are the blocks that perform the math functions and string handling. So these are the operator blocks are generally used to add or perform any mathematical function. So if in your programming you need any add any condition or mathematical function, you can use the operator blocks. So these are different operator blocks. As you can see that in this particular operator blocks, there are two type of blocks, which are this boolean type of blocks and reporter blocks. So there are 18 operator blocks are there. Operators is one of the 9 categories of Blockzy blocks. They are colored in light green color and are used to script mathematic equation and string handling. And also this blocks works for both sprites and backdrops. In block programming palette, the green color code is given to the operator blocks. So these are the operator blocks which are used to give any condition or give any mathematical function to the project. It has different blocks. First type is reporter and the another one is boolean. So reporter blocks are used to perform mathematical function. Means if you want to add any two different value or any two different condition, you can do by adding it over here. If you want to subtract, then you use this. If you want to multiply any two value or any two things, you can use this block. And if you want to divide any two value, then you can use this. If you want to pick any random from this, then you can use this block pick random 1 to 10. Then after we have this condition blocks, means if this is greater than, if one is less than another, if both are equal. Means in the some projects you will need to give a condition to get coding or to get any specific result, then you can add this particular mathematical operations or the operator blocks in your coding. After that, if you want to create a condition which have both the functions, means and particular and operation, if you want to particularly perform or operation and not operation. So these are the three blocks which are used to give your coding an and or not operation. Then after that we have this join block, means it will join this two particular things. Here is apple and banana, but you can add anything here, and after that you can join both of them. Next we have this letter 1 of apple, means the letter, you can add any number, letter 1 of apple, letter 2 of apple, last letter of apple, or any number from this particular value. This is the second section of our tutorial, which is event blocks. So let us see the different events blocks. So event blocks are blocks that control events and the triggering of script. Means these are the blocks which are used to control the starting of your coding. There are 8 event blocks. Events is one of the 9 categories of Blockzy blocks. They are color coded light yellow and are used to sense the events which trigger scripts to run. Means when you are going to run your script is decided by event blocks. Event blocks are essential for every project. Without the hat blocks, From this category, a project would not be able to be expect by manual running script. Means if you want to automate and start running your program, you have to add a event block at the starting part of your coding. There are currently 8 event blocks, 6 hat blocks and 2 stake blocks. It is the smallest category of blocks. Means the event block is the smallest category, having only 8 event blocks. From this 8, 6 are hat blocks and 2 are stake blocks. So these are different 8 events blocks. The blocks with number 1 are used for both sprites and backdrops, whereas the blocks with number 2 onto them are works only and only for backdrops, and blocks without a symbol are used only for sprites. So now let us start our fourth section, which is event blocks. So event blocks are color coded in light yellow color. So you can differentiate them using this yellow color. So the hat shaped blocks are used to start or trigger your program to run. So these are the ones which are used only and only at the first of the coding. Means in the topmost or the very first block in coding are always and always hat or event blocks. So this particular block says that when flag clicked, means this green flag, when you press this green flag, the sprite will start doing as per the coding given to it. For example, if I am giving it to move 10 steps, then it will start to move 10 steps in the forward direction when I will press the green flag. After that, we have we have this hat block or this event block which says when space key pressed, means it is suggesting that whatever blocks you attach will start functioning as soon as you press the space key on your keyboard. Also, it is showing me that we have another options to choose from. So this many buttons on your keyboard can automate the code below this particular block. So using this much key, you can automate your code. So these are the different options. If you want to press up arrow key and do something with your sprite, you can do that. For example, by pressing down arrow key, you want your sprite to go in downward direction. You can do also that. As in different games, we see that if you press right arrow key, your character in particular game will start to go in forward direction. If you press up arrow key from your keyboard, it will go upward. If you press down arrow key, then it will go in the downward direction. So this is how this coding part gets done using this particular block. After that, we have when this sprite clicked, means this is the particular block which is particularly used for a sprite only. Means now I have a sprite this, so this will automate a sprite as soon as I click on this sprite. So whatever function I have given below this block, it will start performing its function as soon as I press or as soon as I click on the sprite. This is not used for stage. Whereas this both can be used for stage, but this cannot be used for stage. This is particularly for sprite. After that, we have when backdrop switches to backdrop 1. Means if in any project you have many number or you have more than one backdrop and you want a particular action to perform at particular background, then you can use this kind of block. Means if you have a different background and you want your sprite to move or to get motion or to get rotate in that particular background, then you can use this block and you can perform that particular task when the backdrop switches to that other or that particular background.
So generally in games you can use that. After that we have this block which says when loudness is greater than 10, means the loudness of your program increased or gets increased or exceed more than 10, then the following code will start running. So this is the one block which is used when your loudness increases its predefined value, and predefined value is given over here. So if your loudness increases, then the following data or the following steps will perform or will be performed by the sprite.
Now the third section is control blocks. So these are the control blocks available in block Z. So control blocks are the blocks that control the script. Means it controls how the script behaves. There are 11 different control blocks and they are color coded in number and are used to control the script under certain conditions. Means when you want to add certain condition such as if else or repeat until, so you have this option of control your script in the section of control blocks. Now control blocks have three different types of blocks. So in the control blocks, the C type of blocks are only and only seen in the control blocks. Also control blocks have C blocks, stake blocks, one hat block, and two to this cap blocks. So these are two cap blocks, these are C blocks, these are stake blocks, and this is the only and only hat block. The blocks with one number either you are can be used for sprites and backdrop. Blocks without any symbol are used only and only for sprite.
So the control blocks, as you can see, are color coded in orange color. So this particular section is used when you want to control your sprite. So these blocks are used to give controllable action to your sprite. First one is first one says that wait 1 second, means if you want any delay in your program, then you can just use this block. And also in this block you can change the time period also, means if you want your sprite to wait for 1 second, for 2 second, for 3 second, as many seconds as you want, or as per requirement of your project, your sprite or your background can wait. After that we know that the control section has C blocks, means blocks which controls or performs loop function. So these are the different C blocks and we will see them. So first block says repeat, and in the box it has return 10. So means whatever block you will attach in this blank area will be repeated 10 times. Means this will perform in loop. Whatever block you attach here will be repeated for 10 times. If you want to change the repetition to 4, then you can just change it. If you want to repeat that particular action for 7 times, you can change that. Means as many times as you can change this value from your keyboard, and that particular action will be repeated for this much time. After that we have forever block. Now the difference between repeat block and forever block we will see in few minutes. First let me discuss what is forever block. So forever block says that whichever function you have given in this blank area will be repeated continuously without breaking. Means it will be start as soon as you press your green flag or any that triggering point, and it will never stop. It will continuously start repeating its action, and you will need, if you need to stop it, you will have to compulsory have to click on the stop button. So this forever block is used when you want to repeat your action into it into or given here to follow for forever time, and this will automate or this will loop or repeat that particular function for 10 times only. So if you see that in motion block you attach this, then it will repeat it 10 times first, and if you attach this then it will never stop. Okay, so this is the difference, it will never stop. If you want to stop it you will have to have click on this stop button, and after that it will stop its function, or else it will go on and on and on. After that we have the condition block. This is also condition block, but this has an additional part which says if then. Means in any project you want to put a particular condition, then you can use this kind of block. This block says that, and also in here you can add the boolean type of blocks which will have a particular condition into them. If the condition is true, then and only then the blocks or the function given here will start performing, or else it will never start performing its action. Means this kind of blocks are used when you want a specific condition performance in your block. Means if you want to give a condition, just give a condition here, if condition states true, then the blocks into it will be performed, or else it will go for the other thing. After that we have if and else. Means if your condition written over here is true, then it will perform the instruction written in this blocks, or if your condition is false then it will go for this else section. Means if your condition written over here is true, then it will perform the task written into this part, and if your action if your condition is wrong or is false, then it will go for this section, and any blocks written into it will start performing. So this is the difference between this if then and if then else. After that we have wait until block. Wait until block will wait until this particular condition is satisfied, and after that it will start performing the blocks below it. Until that time it will be not the blocks below it will not be executed. It will first wait for that condition to get true, and after it satisfy its condition it will go for the further action. Also we have repeat until option. Means this repeat until option provides you with a function that it will repeat the function written over here until the whatever condition is given here is true. After that we have this top all function or block, which is also a cap block. Means it is generally used at the ending part of script, means to end any coding or end the script. This is the last part of your coding. Means whenever you attach this block, your script starts stopping from this point onwards. After that your script will do nothing, as it had the stop all block over it. So after this block you cannot attach any block. This is the only ending part of your script. Means this is to end your program.
After control blocks, we have sensing blocks. So this is our fourth section in which we will see the different sensing blocks. In sensing blocks, the sensing blocks are used to see or detect any things. They are color coded in sign and are used to detect different factors of a project. There are different 18 sensing blocks available in block Z. So as you can see that there are different 18 blocks are there in this sensing category. Also in this category we have different types of blocks. For example, this boolean blocks to give conditions to your coding, this operator blocks, different stake blocks. So these are the three different types of blocks available in sensing blocks. So these sensing blocks used to sense or detect particular things in your coding. Blocks with one number onto it used for sprite and backdrops as well, and blocks without any symbol are used only for sprite. Now in the fifth section we will see the variable blocks. This is the another category of block programming palette named as variable blocks. So these are the blocks which are we can create if we want some variable or define a new variable to our project. So variable is one of the 9 category of block Z blocks. The variable blocks are color coded orange and the list blocks are color coded in dark red. So in this particular variable category we have two different types, which is one is variable and also we have list blocks. So when you want to add a variable in your project you can use this variable blocks. There are currently 17 variables blocks, from which 11 are stake blocks, 5 are reporter blocks and 1 boolean block. There are 5 variable blocks and 12 list blocks. So these are the variable blocks. Means in your project if you want to add a particular variable, for example you are creating a game, then you will have to have a score. Okay, so you will have to add a scoreboard on screen. Hence you will make that scores block using this variable block. So variable blocks are used whenever in your project you need many different variables. After that we have list block. So list blocks are a subcategory of the variables block group, working like a variable that holds multiple variables inside it. Means inside it they hold many different variables. They are color coded in dark red and are used to manipulate list. Means if you want to manipulate a list you can use this particular type. Now these list blocks are good or can be work for both sprites and backdrops. Now we have another category of variable blocks. Means in your project if you want to add another or a typical particular thing to your project you can use this variable option. So if you in your game you want your score to display on a screen, then you can add this variable or section and you can add a new variable and give it a particular name. Then after you have option that if you are making this variable for all the sprites or for the existing or the particular sprite only, you can choose any of this and just click on OK. This is how your variable score will be displayed on the screen. Any changes in the score will be displayed onto this. And this particular section will have different stake blocks. Means if you want to set your score, change your score, if you want to show its variable, or if you want to hide. If you want to show your variable on screen, then you can use this block. If you want to hide your variable and just increase the number, then you can use that by hide. If you want to change the score, if you want to change the score by 1, Means in game you specifically perform some task, and after some time and after collecting some point your score increases, right? So for that particular part you can use this score variable, and you can change accordingly. If you want to set your score at particular value, you can do also that. So this is how a variable blocks are used. After that, make a list. If you want to create a list of different variables in a particular list, you can do also that. After that, we have my blocks. My blocks. So after variable, we have another option of my blocks. So my blocks are particularly used when you want your custom blocks. Means you want to means if you want to make your own customized blocks, so you can do also that using this my blocks. So in my blocks, what you are going to need to do is just click on this my block, and this specific window or a dialog box will be opened, using which you can create your specific customized block. If you want to add input number, if you want to add input as in text, if you want to add any conditional or in boolean block, or you want to add any label, so as per your requirement you can add particular thing into your customized block and give a particular name to your block, and your block will be appeared here. In this particular sixth section we will see a category of my blocks. So these are the my block category available in block programming palette. So my blocks means this is the category in which you can customize any blocks as per your requirement or as per your imagination. Means if you add any custom block to your project, you can use this particular section to add that. My blocks are used to create custom blocks for your sprite and backdrops. If you need the same sequence of blocks in multiple locations, my blocks allow you to define your custom block with this sequence, creating what is known as a procedure. Means what you will do is you will just click on to my blocks, and there will be this kind of dialog box appeared on screen. It will give you option to make any kind of block. Means if you want this kind of block or this kind of block or this kind of block, you can select any type as per your project requirement, and you will make some blocks like this. Means if you want a hat block, then you can use this. Means clicking on the make a block button, it will give you a dialog box something like this. So fill in the make a block dialog box that pops up, then a custom hat block or any block will appear. And after that, define the custom block by attaching the block for your procedure to the define hat block, and use the corresponding stake block in your script. So this is the hat block which have customized, and after that you can add any type of stake blocks. As this is the hat block, this will be on the top, and these are the stake blocks, and hence they will be in the below section of after hat. After seeing the different categories of blocks available in block programming palette, we have reached to our final section of this particular tutorial, which is examples. In the previous six sections, we have seen the different categories of blocks which are available in block programming palette, namely motion blocks, looks blocks, sound blocks, event blocks, control blocks, sensing blocks, operator blocks, variable blocks, and my blocks. After that, after this we are going to see some examples and how one can code in blockzy and move sprites, jump a sprite or rotate a sprite. So for very first example would be the move sprite, how one can move a sprite in blockzy using different kinds of block. Example 2 is a jumping sprite, means a specific sprite, how you can code a sprite to make it jump. And after that we have a third example in which we are going to see the rotation of sprite. Means we are using a particular sprite and giving it a particular code, and after coding we will see how this kind of sprites are going to rotate, and we are going to control its rotation.
Also, you can use these blocks to get a perfect illusion of a monkey jumping. As soon as I press the up arrow key, you will see that jump monkey is jumping, right? As many time I'll press up arrow key, it will go upward and go back to initial position, and this is how a jumping code gets done. So let us now create a code for a sprite, or particularly a cat, to move. So first of all we are going to take a sprite of cat. We don't need this sprite, so we are going to just cancel it out, and we are going to have a backdrop named desert. So from backdrop section, first of all select the background named desert, and after that in the sprite section choose a sprite named cat. After that we are going to start coding for our cat to move. So what we are going to do is, first of all we are going to use event block. As we discussed earlier, the event blocks are used to start or trigger a script to run. Means they are used to run a program. So whenever you are going to click on this flag or green flag, the blocks below will start running. So what we are going to do over here is, we are going to assign our sprite. As of now our sprite is the cat. We are going to assign it a block to move in forward. Okay, so it is going to move in forward direction. So move is a motion, so we are going to use a motion category and a particular move block. So what this saying is, when you are clicking on the green flag, your cat will go or move forward in 10 steps. After that we are going to add another block from a sound block, which is going to give our script a sound of cat. So this is the blocks which are going to use to move your cat in a forward direction uh, with a sound of meow. So this is the coding for any sprite. As of now our sprite is cat to move in forward direction with a sound. Let us see the second example. In the second example we are going to use a sprite named monkey, and this sprite is going to jump. So we are going to learn a specific jumping code. For that, first of all I will go to choose sprite, and from its animal section I am going to pick a sprite named monkey, and I don't need this sprite, so I will just cancel it out. And I will choose a backdrop named forest. So my selection of sprite, which is monkey, and stage, which is forest, is done now. Now we will look of coding, that which particular coding we are going to use to jump this monkey. So first of all, as we discussed earlier, to start any coding or any script we need event blocks. So from event blocks particularly we are going to use this particular block when space key pressed. But we are now coding for this monkey to jump. Means jump in upward direction, right? Jump means it is going to increase its height in y, positive y direction, right? So I am using up arrow key. So as I press up arrow key, it will jump. After that we are going to use a block from control category
which is repeat block. Means I want to increase the height first, and after that it will perform its heights increment in the repeat section. So I am going to use a block from motion block, which is glide. Means what is jumping means to uh, to increase its height from a particular point to this point. Jump means from this point it will go in the positive y direction, and after some time it will move to its original value. And this is the process of a jumping. Means from a particular point this monkey will have a certain height, and after some time it will go back to the ground. So this is the phenomena of jumping, right? So for this phenomena I am going to use a glide block. So in glide block what I am going to do is, first my sprite is over here, right? And I want to give it a height of this. So what I will do is I will just pick this glide block. So I will not need to change its coordinates of x and y, and I will use similar glide block, and just I will not change the value of x because I just want to jump the monkey, right? So in jumping condition, the only change which will occur in the session in this particular section is the y, right? Right now the monkey is at point y is equals to 54, and after jumping it will touch the ground, hence it will be minus 54, right? So from for one block it will go upward at this particular point, and after some time it will go back to its initial position, which will give you an illusion of a monkey as a jumping sprite, right? So this is how it will do its process. And if you want to give it a good look, you can use also a weight block. Now let us see the rotation of sprite, that how you can control the rotation of your sprite. For that I'm going to use a sprite named Beetle. I don't need this sprite, so I'll just cancel it out. And I will use just simple blue sky pattern for this. So initially what I will do is, first I will use event blocks, and from event blocks I'm going to use first this. When green flag is clicked, I want my sprite, which is Beetle, to point in direction 90-degree, right? So I will use this point in direction 90-degree. After that, I will use another event block named when space key pressed, and also the similar block. So in this particular, I will use space key, and in this particular, I will use up arrow key. So as soon as I press space key, my sprite or beetle should turn or should rotate in clockwise direction, right? So I will use a turn block which is in motion block, right? So from motion block I am using turn in a clockwise direction 15-degree, and if I press up arrow key it should rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So I am using turn anti-clockwise 15 degrees, right? So as soon as I press up arrow key, my my sprite or beetle will move in the anti-clockwise direction, and if I will press space key, then it will rotate in the clockwise direction. And as soon as I press green flag, it will go in the 90-degree position. or its initial position. So this is how you can control its rotation. Also, you can use any other key for this. Means if you want down arrow key, if you want up arrow key rotation in anti-clockwise and down arrow key through a clockwise direction, you can also do that. So now if I will press up arrow key, it will go in anti-clockwise direction, and if I will press down arrow key, it will go in the clockwise direction. So this is how you can control the rotation of your sprite from keyboard's different keys or also from different event blocks. Now we are going to learn a flying code, means what to do if you want to fly your sprite. So first of all, let us select a decent and cute sprite, right? So for that I am using a sprite named Parrot and a background, which is you can use a jungle or forest, anything. So I'm using a jungle backdrop and a sprite named Parrot. So first select a sprite and then stage or backdrop, and now we are going to see the coding for this sprite to give a flying code. Means how you can make this parrot a flying. So first we are going to use event blocks. To start any coding, we need an event block to start a script or run to start a triggering of a script. So we are going to use when space key pressed. Means in this particular code, the code will start running or the script will start running as soon as you press a space key. So first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to assign a starting position to this parrot, right? So I want to start my script with parrot over here. Okay, so whenever I press space arrow key, my parrot should be here. So this is the starting point, you can say, right? So first I will assign that when I press space arrow key, what happens is my parrot should be in this particular point. So I will assign that position by giving it a go to space. So I what it says, when space key is pressed, your parrot means the sprite over here is parrot. So your parrot will go to x is equals to minus 155 and y is equals to 13. After that, what I need is I want the costume in same this style. So as I press space arrow key, the costume of parrot should be only this, not like this. So whenever I start my script, the parrot should be in this position only. So this is the costume number parrot A. So I will denote this from looks block and I will assign that switch backdrop whenever I press the button of space key, it should be in parrot A costume, right? So these are the two assigning values, that it should be at this point and it should be in this costume position only. After that, what we are going to do is we are going to make a code for the sprite to give a flying illusion, right? For that we are going to need a next costume block, and from motion we need move block. So these two blocks will do that. It will first move your sprite, which is parrot, and after that it will change its costume, means from costume A to B and B to A. After that, what we are going to do is we are going to give some delay to note this changing phenomena. So we are going to give point 2 or point 3, whichever you like. So I'm going to use 0.3 seconds of delay. So I have joined all these three blocks of a parrot to give it a fly like illusion. But to give it a forever type of feeling, I will use a forever block from a control section, and I will attach these three blocks under this block.
So as soon as I press space arrow key, my parrot will start flying and it will look like a parrot is flying in a jungle. But what happens after it? So your parrot is going after your boundary. So after beyond this boundary, there is nothing you can do about. So what you will have to do is you will have to make your parrot fly back or to come back to its original xy plane. So this will be done using the block if on edge bounce. So you can use that if on edge then bounce, and the starting position is this only. Now what happens is your parrot has changed its position. So to make it correct, we will use this set rotation style and your parrot will be in the previous position. And if you want to stop the code, you can just press stop, and as soon as you press the space arrow key, your parrot will start flying from the position which is given to xy and costume A. So this is how a flying code gets done. Now we will see another example which is of walking a sprite. In this particular part we are going to see that how a sprite can be in walking mode. So for that we are going to use a sprite. So first of all, from sprite section, use a take a sprite, namely Ivory walking. So I am using this particular sprite. After that, choose a background. After selecting a sprite and a background, we are going to start a code, right? So for coding, we always use first event block. So from event section, drag and drop this block code when green flag is clicked. After that, we are going to make this sprite named Ivory a walking phenomena, right? So for that, as we already know that this sprite or sprites and blocks are divided in two categories. First is static and the another one is animated. So we are going to give a sprite a walking type of illusion, hence we have to add a sprite which is already in animated category or which has different number of costumes. So let us first see the different costume of this sprite. So for this particular sprite we have this four different costumes, and using these four costumes or uh, switching between this costume, we can give an illusion of a sprite in a walking mode, right? So we are going to give the sprite a walking process. So let's start the coding. So for we have taken the event block. After that, we are going to need a motion block which is used to give a forward direction to your sprite. Means this is going to be used as a move sprite. Means for this particular block, your sprite will go in the forward direction. After that, what we do is we are going to switch its costume. Means one by one it will change its costume. Means if it has, for particular instant, it has a first costume, then after that it will have second costume, after that it will have third costume, after that it will switch over to its fourth and last costume. So these are the two blocks which are going to need. After that we will use a delay. Now this particular delay is added because we want to see the costume changing over with our eyes, right? So this wait block is particularly used to give a delay or to observe this walking process.
So to observe this walking process, we are going to need a wait block in between these move blocks. After that, we are going to need some more blocks, but first we will see let's what happens if we are attaching these blocks here. So as soon as I click on this, it is changing its costume. It is moving forward 10 steps and it is waiting for 0.3 seconds also, right? But to give it a illusion of walking, I need to continuously click onto this green flag. Okay, it is not changing its position and giving me a look as a walking sprite. So to give it a process or to give it a feel like it's continuously walking, I will have to add a block which gives or which repeat this particular phenomena on repeat, on and on again. For that I am using this forever block. So whatever we are going to add in this forever block is going to be executed over and over again until you stop the coding by pressing this button, right? So to give it illusion of its walking, I have used this forever block. So let us see what happens when I press a green flag. So as soon as I pressed green flag, my sprite started walking. Okay. But see, there is some error, right? My sprite is walking, but there is nothing like output. It is not a good output, right? It is continuously it is continuously walking because there is an edge, right? This is the boundary after which it cannot go further, right? So I what I will have to do now is I will have to make my sprite come back as it touches the this edge, right? So what I will do is I will make my sprite bounce back or come back to this particular xy plane as it touches its edge. So I will do it by using a blocks which are already there in the motion block. So in the motion block, we have if on edge, bounce and set rotation style. So these are the two blocks which are used to bring back your sprite, right? To bring back if on edge. So this particular block says if on edge bounce means whenever the sprite touches your edge, it will bounce back. And we have also a option. So let us first see what happens if I am using just this block. And if I add this, it will bounce back with a good look. If I use this, don't rotate, then it will never rotate. It will just go from this side to this side without rotating its face. So now it will go from this and it will come back similar in this type. And if I use all around, then it will make it rotate from all around. So I will use the left and right only. So this will give a sprite walking like illusion. So this is a code which can be used for a sprite to walk. So thank you so much. This was all about the different categories of block programming palette in which we have seen the different event blocks, operator blocks, sensing blocks, my blocks and variables blocks. And after that in the last section we have seen some examples of coding
using which you can move your sprite, jump your sprite, and rotate your sprite. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next tutorial.